Hello, friends. Welcome back to more Mindcrack. Shit's gotta go, yo. More ancient debris blasting is on the way. If everybody's doing well. Birch trees are spared because they're different wood. Don't stack. I can't be having that wood not stacking here. Can't be doing that. Not in my house. Not here. Here we are. We're still in the doldrums of February, as it were. Back on to do more ancient debris blasting. So, what have I been up to? I was just on a trip for my dad's 60th birthday. And on his request, I was at Disneyland. That's right, everyone. I was at Disneyland. I know I don't usually talk too much about my trips or something, but I have a lot of stuff I would like to say about Disneyland, and I'm starving for topics. So it was a good trip. It was a lot of running around and working hard and planning out your day as efficiently as possible and waiting in lines as little as possible. It's great. I want to talk about why Disneyland rules. So, on this old podcast I used to listen to called the Mindcrack podcast, the hosts on it, Good and Sevenus, they talk all the time about Disney. And they're always talking about Disney World. Now, those two are both on kind of, East Coast born and raised people. And listen, Disney World as an entity has 4 theme parks. Disneyland has 2. Just based on that alone, it's hard not to see the obvious, or take the extra beds from here, I did. The obvious advantage there, the numbers advantage. But as someone who's been lucky enough to be to both, I can tell you that, and partly this is a distance thing, so I'm a lot closer to Disneyland in California. I have no desire to go to Disney World at this time. Kind of don't. And here's some truth out here. We're going to start here comparing Disneyland to Disney World. Then we're going to compare Disney to other theme parks. So, the original Disneyland, first of all, it's first. So it has the history. It's the first theme park to be opened, kind of the first of its kind, first of its genre to exist. Walt Disney was actually on hand. Stuff like that, right? It's impossible for anything else to come second and just match that history, Disneyland's got the history. It has the vision. The vision not just of rides, but also kind of like the original undercurrent that was supposed to be like a theme park about America, right? Like originally, there were a few rides based off like the princess movies, but really the whole thing was like, the Jungle Cruise and, Davy Crockett canoes and, a lot of like Americana stuff was the original take. Oh man, it's back to back one wool sheep take on Disneyland. And it's partially because there's only 2 parks in California. There's a lot more stuff to Disneyland. There's a lot more rides, especially now that Disneyland has Star Wars Land with Rise of the Resistance, which is maybe the most technologically impressive ride in existence. Disneyland trumps the Magic Kingdom. It totally does. There's just so much more to do. You've got all the Star Wars places. Magic Kingdom doesn't have Indiana Jones. There's a few things Magic Kingdom has. Like there's a brand new Tron ride, I think, and stuff like that. But when you've been to both and you're in Magic Kingdom, you kind of get the sense like these guys, bless their heart, they tried their best. They tried their best to give us Disneyland. They do a great job. But it's not Disneyland. It's not Disneyland. It's just not the same. Like, Disneyland is just so jammed with, you know, iconic things and history and... thought I was maybe going to get a record out of you. Oh. I didn't want that anyway. It just tops the Magic Kingdom, man. It's just better. It's just better. I mean, yeah, you've got, you know, Space Mountain. You've got Big Thunder Mountain. I mean, all these things are in the Magic Kingdom, too. What really definitely sets it over the top is Big Thunder. Not Big Thunder, what am I saying? I have Big Thunder in the brain. Star Wars Land. Disneyland now has this attached Star Wars Land. If you're a kid, it has Toontown as well. And when they originally announced Star Wars Land at Disneyland, I was kind of worried because it's like no other of the like the sections of Disneyland are themed after like a specific, you know, IP. Right? There's no specific theming. Like it's Frontierland and Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Although I will say, definitely the weakest part is Tomorrowland. Tomorrowland, you seen better days. Let's put it that way. It is wrong Spencer. Rough. Tomorrowland needs Jesus. And, you know, it's so brilliantly designed. Like, the whole idea for, like, the Main Street USA thing leading up to the castle and then kind of the spokes. I mean, just all these things, inventing, you know, these design principles that work so well. And so in Disney World, I mean, it's in a much bigger area. The other thing it sucks is you have to take shuttles, buses, between the different parks because they're so far away from each other. That is not the case in Disneyland. These other part, California Adventure, is literally just right across the street. You can just walk over. It's that easy. So while Disney World, I mean, you really are in a world, like a massive enclosed, you know, swampy bubble. When you're in Disney World. But in Disneyland, everything's right there and walkable. I mean, down Disney Springs, you have to take which is like the shopping area, you have to take a bus to. In Florida, downtown Disney, it's all just right there. Yeah, in Disneyland in California, it's much more self-contained. It's more jam-packed with rides. The climate is better. both weather-wise and recently politically. Well, maybe not that recently, but it's gotten worse. Like, there can be some muggy, swampy, gross-ass days in Florida. But that's not happening in California. And then California Adventure is a cool park. It doesn't have nearly as much as Disneyland does, but its big ticket rides deliver, thankfully. Like the Incredicoaster, which is a big steel roller coaster where you go upside down. Then, you know, I'm sorry all the people that swear they were proponents of the Tower of Terror, which I've never ridden because when I was in Florida I was too scared to do it because I was too young. But the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout that replaced the Tower of Terror, truly an iconic. I mean, it's just so much fun. You know, it plays. You are launched up and down while there's some debris finally. While we get some classical music plays, like from the Guardians of the Galaxy track. Favorite one being the Jackson 5. It's fun. It's awesome. It's a fantastic ride. It also has two of the three called the competitive rides, where you're kind of playing against and, like, you know, scoring games and things like that. Okay, this is fine. Listen, let's just get the debris and get out of here. So over in Tomorrowland, and Tomorrowland's weird because you still got Star Tours over there, which is there instead of, you know, Star Wars Land. Though it wouldn't fit with Star Wars. The whole idea of Star Wars Land is they invented a fictional planet that you are on. They even released some, like a few books that are supposedly set there and stuff, like a young adult romance book, a comic, and then just like the main book, which was shockingly great. So it wouldn't really fit there, but it has the original competitive game, which is Buzz Lightyear, where you're just firing a blaster at targets, and it's from 2005, but it feels like it could be from 1995. So I'm right there. Makes my life easy. Then and it's kind of like technology slowly advancing, right? Then you have Toy Story Midway Mania and California Adventure, which you have a little rope gun, you pull a rope back and forth, and there's various different games projected. And then the new one is Spider-Man Web Slingers, where it's like the Kinect, where it reads your body print, and you just gotta be slinging Spider-Man webs as fast as possible at a screen. Some people don't like that those rides use screens, which I can I can respect the old heads take there. Some people really hate the Spider-Man ride. I think the Spider-Man ride is good. But I do think the wait time is, I will agree, sometimes a lot longer than it should be. People just love their Spider-Man. But the second time we did that, I knew in order to win in my family that I really wanted to win one of those competitive games. So yeah, I usually don't. It's usually my brother. Well, this might be the end of this direction. Who gets the win? But I went crazy. I went crazy at the Spider-Man ride and got the win by a lot. I mean, I was actually, I'm not like terribly out of shape or anything. I guess the only thing I do is run. So maybe I am terribly out of shape, but I was physically gassed. It might be time to go back to our original mining spot and see what's up. I was pretty gassed after getting the Spider-Man web slinger. Seriously, I mean, I was moving my arms back and forth as quickly as possible. It takes it out of you, okay? I was hydrating between rounds. Had to do what you gotta do. So yeah, when California Adventure originally opened, it was it did not go over well. Didn't go great. They really kind of blew it, and then they spent another 10 years fixing it, basically. Though I remember it from the old days, and I don't know how much, rides we really went on there, because there weren't many rides to go on there. But we did always love the Grizzly River rafting at California Adventure. And it does have my favorite view in the park, which is the pier, the Incredicoaster, and the Ferris wheel. It's gorgeous. And yeah, originally the Incredicoaster was just like, it was just called California Screamin'. It was just a roller coaster, which is cool, but you need kind of the Disney touch, right? And the Incredibles are hilarious, and it works well. And the other thing that's great is how often, I mean, this was the most time I can ever remember just seeing so many characters. We've got photos with a few. That's not a big deal for me, but it's always fun seeing it mean so much to kids, seeing their favorite character. It's also funny to me, there are characters in the new, the Avengers area too. Like my brother's girlfriend got a photo with Black Widow. It's kind of funny because it's clearly not Scarlett Johansson. It's not her, but it's someone who is dressed like her, pretending to be here. Apparently she asked them, what missions have you been on today? And shit like that. And, at a Comic-Con, you'd maybe get a photo, but it's just a person, cosplaying Black Widow. But something, the Disney magic, you're like, that's Black Widow! Oh my gosh. It's actually her. Some guys are close. There's the guy playing Jack Sparrow we saw was shockingly close to the real thing. They have everybody. We saw Ashoka and Star Wars Land, fresh off her series, and I'm here gassed all the way down here. This low hour. For all the beds I have, 4 is not the best debris day. But it's the magic of Disney. And here's another thing: is a lot of times people are like, "Is it worth it?" Disney doesn't have the craziest coasters. And okay, if that's all you want, okay, good. We'll get some more. Blue fire should burn you quicker. I've no scientific evidence on this, except I feel like it should do something materially different as opposed to just being a different coloring. Okay, 6. And it's the magic. Just scrolling on the Disneyland subreddit, someone posted a photo of their parents, their grandma, and their great grandma at Disneyland in 1955. This black and white photo in front of the entrance, and it looks the same. It looks the exact same as it does today in 2024. And it's that timeless, it's the history, the continuum of experience. Like, going to Disneyland isn't just about riding the craziest rides in the world. It's about, feeling immersed in Disney, a place where everybody truly is, with rare exceptions, feeling happy. I mean, you see kids, like we saw the Magic Parade, and these little kids, their eyes get real wide when they see their favorite princess or something come by. And just seeing how, everybody's being themselves. There's a guy dressed as like the Red Power Ranger, and, everybody just feels the license to, be their authentic self. And, there are people who are, 50-year-old men who are like pin traders, and it's encouraged, and it's just such a positive atmosphere. And at other parks too. Now, Universal might be trying to do this as well. It just feels like you're at a really cool theme park. But it doesn't feel, there's no like, deep Universal Studios lore and history. There aren't 100 websites and guidebooks and people to try and figure out, the secrets of Universal parks. All right, only 9 away. Like, it just isn't the same. I feel like this is similar debate to the people who are like very militantly anti-Apple products. Is that, yes, well, Apple product might not always have a feature. The way they're just, it's the same. It's just not like there's a continuum of history with Apple products, right? It's not like, I'm immersing myself in this grand tradition. So like that part's different. But just the part of how, like, I don't understand why you'd pay for this. It doesn't do this, this, and this. And the answer is because it's just sleeker. It just works. The overall experience, the customer service of Apple is, top notch. I remember once on my old iMac, had a conversation with this woman. A CD got stuck in the CD drive. Yes, this was a 2008 iMac. It had a CD drive. And this woman and I had a wonderful conversation on the phone, talking about tilting it over, trying all these things to get it, jigger it out of there. We got some high wool outputs. It's similar to that. It's similar to that, where it just has a special air about it. It has the combo of the history of Walt Disney and how they're constantly adding new experiences, and they do a good job to add new things while not removing too much of the classic stuff. Like, there's plenty of original things that are never going to get replaced. And listen, I can't say I'm not a massive Disney super fan. I'm not in these streets going crazy for Disney. I don't know all the Disney songs by heart. Although honestly, this trip made me think it might be time to revisit some of these classic movies. Like, when's the last time I've seen The Little Mermaid? 15 years ago, more. Stuff like that. Because a few of those songs are absolute gas. And that's what they're trying to do, create this timeless sense of history for kids. And that part they do really well. Now, am I a fan of media conglomeration? No, I don't think it's a good thing that, the amount of franchises that Disney owns, right? I don't think that's a super positive development. You know, you could have made some of this stuff in partnership, like Star Tours and the Indiana Jones ride were here long before Disney owned Lucasfilm, right? Those existed. So I don't think for society Disney becoming, you know, one all-encompassing corporate conglomeration is perfect. Disney certainly had a rough 2023. You know, Marvel flops big. Nothing that notable in the Star Wars side. Their big 100th anniversary shit, Wish, and the short film they made. Short film they made people thought was like easy Oscar win, didn't even get nominated. Wish was a bust. So it's tough. And, you know, I think it's good that in 2019 it seemed like Disney was the top of the world. Another Disney thing I hate is live action remakes. Grody. I want none of that shit. Let's finish off this way before we go that way. Yeah, I think the live action remakes are some disrespectful trash. But a lot of these Disney threads, you hear people saying, "Oh, the parks suck now." I can tell you, firsthand experience, like it's just not true. It's just not true. At least at Disneyland. I mean, I can't speak to Florida, but and Disneyland's just, oh look, there was all this ancient debris right here. Now we're only 6 away. And I just don't feel that Florida has Disney World is that same legacy that Disneyland does. You know, the whole walkability factor. I mean, that's crucial too. That's just crucial. Flip between the two parks. Yeah, I mean, I think Disneyland is it's a perfect vacation spot. It's just about, there's almost nothing that I've really changed. It's so much fun, and I'm lucky to have been able to go as often as I have. I'm kind of glad in some respects. These are people that have like annual passes and they live in Orange County, LA, whatever, what have you, and they go a lot. You have to really space out. You have to really space out your Disney trips, I think. You know, the magic doesn't work if you're always on top of it, you know. If you're always there, it ain't gonna work. It's something that you need to return to and always be. I'm not gonna try that way. Just always be enchanted by anew. And I'll say this again. I think maybe if you never went as a kid, you don't quite get it. I think that's crucial, is being there when you're a kid. Because it's just such a cool place. But it's really enchanting when you're a kid. Like, you know, I went there first when I was in elementary school, and my dad, his sister found this picture of him, you know, probably 12 years old at Disneyland, meeting Snow White and just being absolutely enthralled and enchanted by her. Because he met her at Disneyland when he was a kid. This is gonna be bad. Oh boy, this was bad. Get out. Might not make it out of this one. Okay, this is a safe space for my items. Whew. Oh boy. Okay. Anybody anywhere? Oh. Okay. We're done here. That's it. It just, you know, when you first see through the kid's eye, when you come back as an adult, you can still feel kind of feel the magic, you know. Or maybe if you haven't been there as a kid, you have to go with a kid, just to see their reactions to everything. And yeah, we all know there's somebody in the Mickey costume, but it still feels like you're seeing Mickey. Like, it actually does feel that way. Mickey also, I feel like, is more visible than ever. I feel it used to be like a thing if you saw Mickey. And there's a place in Toontown where you can just go meet him. But I was like, oh, that's the only way. Okay. Need to go farther. So, apologies to the Florida stands. You know, no hate in the Magic Kingdom. It's fantastic. When I was a kid, seeing Animal Kingdom blew my mind. Although I've heard that Animal Kingdom's kind of rough right now. Like Tomorrowland. Needs some major TLC. But I thought Animal Kingdom was the coolest shit in the world. And I always said that was the best Disney park for a long time, but the answer is it's just Disneyland. It's like, hey, do you have the Magic Kingdom plus Star Wars? Easy win. I seriously don't know how they do some of the things they do in Rise of Resistance. Like what they did with Rise of Resistance is it's the new era of theme parks are not theme park ride. It's not even just a ride. Like Space Mountain's just a ride. But Rise of Resistance, there's a whole story and narrative, and you get in a ship and you are on the loading bay of a Star Destroyer, and there are cast members dressed like Imperial officers whose job is to be assholes to you. It's funny. I was like, sorry I'm late. It's like, don't be sorry, be better. King shit. So much fun. Hi Big Z. Yeah, I mean, you can make a full ass day running around through Disneyland, which we did, and California Adventure. So, and then if a bit, you really should just go ahead and spend extra $30 to get to Lightning Lanes. You'll be able to do a lot more. If you're already there at Disneyland, you might as well, right? Yeah, well, once you buy one, you have to wait 2 hours to get another one, or you have to redeem the one you used previously. So there's a lot of strategy that goes into Lightning Lanes. Now, Rise of Resistance is so popular, you have to pay an extra like $30 to get the Rise of Resistance. So that's why the thing to do is just to go there ASAP in the morning. First thing of the day to avoid paying that. Which is both a way for them to get more money, I think, because Rise of Resistance is so popular, it actually is kind of a crowd control thing, too. Look at me simping for Disney. Simp, simp, simp. Yeah, so again, I would not consider myself, I do not have Disney Funkos everywhere. The only Funko I have is a Dalek a guy gave me. No simping on the job for me, no sir. But I would absolutely consider myself a Disneyland guy. I think Disneyland is so cool. I think, things talking about the history of Disneyland is so cool. Yeah, I mean, it's the happiest place on earth. What can I say? If I had, any money, I'd go there a lot more often than... Well, I just said the thing, you don't want to ruin the magic, but we'll see. You just remember these times with your family. Just like my dad as a little kid went there. Hopefully one day when I'm a dad, I could be there with my little kid and see them excited about things. Whether they're into Star Wars or Marvel, or I have a daughter and she just wants to meet all the princesses. That's cool too. And just so everybody's on the same page here, let's settle the question of who the best Disney princess is once and for all. Okay, they're all cool. They're all cool. A lot of people when I was in high school, the popular pick was just to say Jasmine. And listen, Jasmine's awesome, but I know why y'all picking Jasmine, and it's just because she has the most revealing dress. And that's no shade to Jasmine. She lives in like Saudi Arabia in the 900s or something. It's hot, it's fucking hot. I bet you see the shit Aladdin's wearing. Dude's probably sweating through. I get it. It's and she looks great. But the best Disney princess is Belle. 100%. Lock it in. The GOAT. Didn't see her. Surprised there should have been a Beauty and the Beast float in the parade. The parade had a Moana and Coco in there, which is really cool. It had Frozen. And somehow Elsa, she'd kind of point at you with her hand, and little bits of snow powder would kind of jet at you. Not a ton, but just a little bit, where it felt like she was actually using her ice powers. I have no idea how they did that. No clue. They had a big animal for Coco, and you could see that there were people working it inside. I don't know how the Elsa thing worked, unless they just have a full, and they're left, right, and they're just says she has an earpiece. I guess it was awesome. Oh, you're a superstar. Superstar sheep. May this be our last run, inshallah. But Belle sits atop my rankings, okay? Eagle-eyed viewers might know that between Belle and Clara Oswald and Doctor Who that I have a type. And I'm not limited to that type, but you are correct. That is a accurate statement. Speaking of Doctor Who and media conglomeration being bad, Doctor Who is on Disney Plus now, internationally. It's not owned by Disney. They have a bit of input. So, about that conglomeration. Tomorrowland is struggling. It needs a new ride. Now, there will be another one soon with the, Princess and the Frog ride, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, that's going to replace Splash Mountain. My dearly beloved Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain was my favorite ride. And listen, I get it. The characters in it are based on a movie that's so racist that Disney stopped letting people see it like the 80s, okay? Obviously, I've not seen it, but that must mean it was pretty fucking racist. Okay? I get it. But I just love the characters and the zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. All that stuff. The laughing place. I'll show you the laughing place, not the briar patch. I just loved all that. Loved it all. One of my fondest Disneyland memories from an early visit is it was like a Tuesday or something at night. Nobody still in the park. No one in the line for Splash Mountain because it was cold and who wants to do Splash Mountain? And we ran it like 5 times straight. We'd come back up to get off the ride. Nobody would be there. We'd say, can we go again? It'd say, yep. So I've trust, and maybe the most trustful part of Disney, who are the Imagineers, the people who designed these rides. I remember getting a book about it as a kid. Because I just thought, how cool and crazy is it that the people that build all this. That they will do right by Splash Mountain, the new ride. I'll probably still just call it Splash Mountain. But Tomorrowland, y'all need a new ride. Doctor Who ride. Where's the Doctor Who ride? You may laugh, but Doctor Who and Disney Plus now, the Shooty Gatwa. This could be another new wave of fans, like when BBC America was formed and showed Matt Smith's first season. And listen, I have faith that RTD isn't just going to put shit out there. Even if I had my issues with the Giggle or 60th anniversary specials, they were mainly down to like conceptual things, not necessarily like the writing quality of those things, which is frequently very good, which is the reason why I'm not more disappointed in the conceptual issues. Because the execution was significantly better. Come on. I'm gonna have to go back, aren't I? Dang it. It would be awesome. Let people go in the TARDIS. You know how fucking cool that would be? Really fucking cool. And Quartz, oh boy, hello. I think it would be great. I think Shudigatwa could host a theme park ride really well. And you could always update it for the new doctor. How much fun, y'all? How much fun would that be? But I think the best ride might be the revamped Tower of Terror to Guardians of the Galaxy ride. Just because of the energy. Like, Incredicoaster gives you the most adrenaline pumping thrills. The combination of the theming, man, I'm striking out in this debris run. Like, it takes you up to the top and it opens up and you get to see a view of a great view of Disneyland. And the last time we did it, Rocket, Raccoon, who's the voice of the ride, was like, "Hey, is that Disneyland?" Man, nothing. Gods are not with us. Alright, that keeps us in the game. That keeps me in the game. Which is hilarious. My favorite rides too is also the Indiana Jones ride. Because Indiana Jones just rules, and the ride happens too as well. Don't look into the eyes of the idol. Yeah, I know that pad was like one block too close, but fuck it. Alright, we're only 2 away. I guess. Have at it. So yeah, is my dad insane for being like a little kid and wanted to have his 60th birthday party at Disneyland? But again, he's not like a Disney adult. He's not. He's like me. He just loves Disneyland. As well he should, I think. As well he should. Well, hope you enjoyed the little details about my brief trip to Disneyland. Hope everybody got along fine without me. I don't even know what I mean by that. I mean, I still checked Discord. I just, wasn't dialed in. But by the end of all that, my social battery was definitely at about a 0. There's only so much a man can handle. Okay. 3 more. 3 more. We're home safely. Well, that's going to do it for this episode on the Mindcrack server. We will finish it out next time. So what, there will have been 4 episodes of debris blasting. Averaging 10 an episode or so. Picked up all my shit again. Great. Then we'll make everything. We will get back to the historical trivia comp. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. All will be well. All will be well. Whew. Continue some Baldur's Gate later as well. So I know you guys have been sleeping on my Baldur's Gate series. I'm having a great time playing it. I don't know how well that translates to... I don't like that. I don't know how well that translates to the content. A lot of times I'm quiet because I'm listening to dialogue or mulling over strategy, but Act 2 is starting off with a bang. I mean, I was liking the game, but it's already moving up the list with Act 2, so a little plug for my Baldur's Gate videos. Only Sakana's watching them. Alright. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, magic is forever. Bye.